but here we go. So do me a favor, guys, just a reminder, okay? Turn your cameras on if you can. It's great to see everybody always. If you could mute yourself, if you've got any background noise, just know that we'll hear it. I'll kind of monitor that as we're going. But appreciate you guys getting on here. Of course, just a reminder, we do this every Tuesday. Different trainings, different masterminds. It's open to any agent, any company. You can invite them in here. Always good content and stuff. The more agents, the better. More discussion, the better. So, participate. Okay, that's what's going to make this thing work. And you've all got ideas, so throw them out. There's no bad question. There's no dumb question. There's no dumb idea. Okay, let us know what's working for you. So anyway, I appreciate my buddy Nick getting on here. So Nick and I have been working together now for a few months and been
Yeah.
helping me a ton as far as just social media, using video. He's working with what, like over 8,000 agents right now all
Yes, sir.
together, in your groups that you're, working with, just some direct clients. He's just helping a ton of people. And, video is the name of the game right now. I'm just telling you, if you haven't used video and you're kind of holding back on using video in any way with your, real estate business, with your social media stuff, it's something to really be digging into. It's not as hard as you think it is. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. So anyway, Nick, I'm going to turn it over to you, man. Go ahead and tell a little bit of your story, what you're doing, and we'll
Yeah.
kick it in here, man. I appreciate your time.
No,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you having me on here, Jeff. I always love seeing your content, what you're producing, just to see it from checking the timeline before and to where you're at now, man. It's just taking immense strides, and it's just with that consistent action.
Yeah, I
And
appreciate
just
it.
so everybody knows, this isn't going to be your typical training. I'm not going to speak for 45 minutes and say any questions at the end, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you guys know now. I'll introduce myself here in a minute. But after I'm done, I'm going to ask each individual, what are you struggling with either video and social media, and how can we help you? Right. So I want to hear one thing that's holding you back, whether it's from doing video, taking it to the next level, or a question that you have. So I'm going to give you guys ample time. If nobody raises their hand, we're just going to start doing the popcorn method here. But yeah, a little bit about me. I started my own business about 4 years ago. And in that time, I've been able to grow it into 13 countries in all 50 states using organic video strategies and social media. I wish I could say $0 in ads, but I spent $200 on that ads once. And I'm like, yeah, that's not my game. So essentially, all through organic video content and social media, we've been able to grow our business because we help agents do it the simple way. We provide simple solutions and not shiny objects. We give you exactly what you need to do and nothing more. I like to call it the minimal effective dose, because at the end of the day, you guys are real estate agents. You guys aren't here to become social media gurus and experts and buy all the courses and become experts in that end. That's what people hire me for, because I tell you exactly what you need, nothing more. So you guys can go do what makes you money, sell more homes or help people get into them. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to open up the floor. I want to take questions, and that'll help us spark some ideas and be able to keep this call moving forward. So I need your guys' help here. So guys, what questions do you have regarding social media or video? All right. Well, I gave you guys some time here. Let's go with my man, TJ. TJ, what's going on, man? Unmute. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with video currently and what you would like some help with.
Not doing much of anything, unfortunately. I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
I don't like hearing myself. I don't like seeing myself. I guess it's
Yeah.
just one of those things. I've done a couple TV shows with our lender, just some stuff a couple years ago, but every time I get in there, I just get antsy about it and get away from it.
Absolutely, man. I don't think anybody likes what they look like or what they sound like. But the trick is, the number one enemy of all videos is the play button. Never hit the play button. I'm telling you, it never ends well, whether it's sending a video text, whether it's your Facebook, your videos. And a lot of times what happens is when we want to edit the videos or we send it to an editor and they take out all the mistakes, right? And then it's a pristine, perfect video. Well, who here on this call is perfect? Exactly. And we can't relate to it. It makes you less relatable, and it makes it seem like you're too perfect. So if I had a question about real estate, am I going to reach out to the guy who is perfect and pristine, or the guy who's like me and makes some mistakes and is more relatable?
Right.
So chances are what we're editing out and what we're taking out of the videos are the exact reason people reach out to us. I like to say the imperfection is the connection, right? So for me, I'll tell you what, the thing that got me over over the fear is doing mass amounts of interviews. The reason I like doing interviews is because I ask 4 questions and I look like an expert. If I stop talking, there's somebody else there to pick it up. I interview people I'm already comfortable talking to and are comfortable on camera. And eventually that got me into doing video a lot more. So for me, I'll tell you what, I remember my first live, I just wrote a book called The Community Champ. And I thought, man, I could go live and do this in my sleep. And then the lights went on, the camera's on. I was like, holy crap. And I started venturing off into left field. I don't remember what the live was about, but it was about 15 minutes long. And I don't even think I mentioned the book. But then I started doing interviews with people who are very comfortable. And eventually I built that muscle, right? So for me, my biggest tips on that would be, do not watch the video. No matter what video you shoot, don't go back and watch it. And on top of that too, the best videos to start doing are interviews. Gotcha. And it also holds me accountable. Because if I get in somebody's calendar and say I'm going to interview you, I'm like, even if I don't want to do it, I'm like, man, I don't want to waste their time. I don't want to back out on their time. So it holds me accountable to make sure I do it as well.
I like it.
Hope that helped, TJ. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Guys, go ahead and unmute. What do you guys got? What questions do you have to take your video and your content to the next level?
I have two things.
What's up, Julia?
Hey, so I don't do them often because every time I try to do a live, no matter what I do, I look terrible, I sound terrible, and people on the internet are mean.
No shit.
So I don't need more mean girls in my life. The other thing that stops me is once I start talking, it's like squirrel.
Right.
So I don't know what to say, when to cut it off. Just give me the facts, man. But I don't know what the facts are that people are looking for. So I'm fearful of mean people, and don't know what the heck to say.
So no, that brings up a good point. You know, yeah, there are some mean people on the internet. There's a lot of them, but there's also a lot of good people. Anytime you see somebody hating on a video, you will always see more people come into love on it, and vice versa. If everybody's loving the video, you'll also get some haters with it too. And it usually tends to even out. Something that I would recommend doing too, if you don't like what you look like and what you sound like, you're probably just like everybody else on this call. Something that got me over it too and got more people liking what I was doing is Google the top 10 most interesting places in your city and go and shoot your videos there. Because now people are like, whoa, that's so cool. They're checking out the background. They're looking at what you're doing. They're not even looking at you, right? So chances are that got me over the fear. I'm like, okay, they're looking at the background. I got some cool things. And one of the hardest things to do is get people to stop the scroll and watch the video. So if you shoot your videos there, I believe that will tend to knock out some of the haters. You're in a cool place. It looks like you're doing cool things, and you'll have more people commenting about how cool what you're doing is. As far as having the idea for the video and making sure you cut it off, what I like to always do is I have 3 talking points. If I'm doing a live and I'm doing it by myself, I have 3 talking points. I type my 3 talking points in the description and I read it 4 or 5 times before I go live. I'm like, all right, that's my live. That's what I'm going to do. Talking points right here. I read it 4 or 5 times and boom, then I go live and I stick to them. I don't like having a script. I personally hate scripts. I don't think they work or are effective. They make us robotic. And I always say, I can't fuck up a script that I don't have. If I don't have a script, I can't mess it up. And then if I say a word that I wasn't supposed to, then I start fumbling over my words. Then I start getting distracted. And then I lose track of what I was even going to say. If I have just specific talking points, it gives me the ability to mess up and continue to move on. Great questions, Julia. Julia, you know what? Let's make this fun. Do you guys remember the game Popcorn in School? Julia, why don't you call on somebody else?
Seriously, how old are you? What? I don't even remember school. That was like 35 years ago.
Here's how you play the game. Now, Julia, you pick on somebody else to ask a question about their social media or video.
Me pick on somebody else.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Well, I mean, this is like shooting fish in a barrel because Tara Holland's on here and she's on my team. Tim is on here, but he's too polished. So, Tara.
I knew that was coming.
You don't post.
I saw you right when
videos.
I said that, Tara, you pointed at yourself.
I knew it was coming. I've only done very few videos myself. You know, I learned very early on, don't listen to it, just send it and move on, which is very hard too. But I guess more or less, I don't do it so much because I don't know what content to use or to say, or how to get the most interaction and, you know, dialogue going with people. Interviewing someone else is a phenomenal idea. But if you're not going to go that route, what are some of the topics that you've used or done that have just generated you the most
Great question.
communication? And
you know what? I had a slide pulled up. Jeff, can I go ahead and share my screen? No, that is a phenomenal question, because the interviews I love, because, you know, I don't have to think about the topics. I bring somebody on and they're an expert, and you're able to roll those out. But it also does, it is very effective to be able to shoot your own. So here we go. Can you guys see my screen? Now can you? There we go. So going over these different topics. So this is a list. If you guys want to take a screenshot, go ahead. I'll make sure I admit people here too, Jeff. So if you guys want to take a screenshot, but these are some of the different topics to cover. What is it that you do? I know it might sound basic, but getting granular and telling people exactly what you do in this process. And you got to keep reminding them, right? We got to remember, people live an entire lives outside of what we're doing. If we tell them we're a real estate agent once and expect them to remember in 8 or 9 months, this is what happens when a friend or family member goes with another agent. It's not because they didn't want to go with you. You just weren't that first agent they thought of. And in reality, whose fault is that, right? It's our responsibility. It's our obligation to keep reminding them. And one of the best ways is through social media. I don't believe we should call them every month and be like, hey, guess what, Jeff? What's that, Nick? I'm still a realtor. Call me if you need me. But on social media, it's a constant reminder to stay top of mind. I always say the most valuable piece of real estate is the real estate in someone's mind. Because when they think of a real estate agent and they think of you, that's what winning looks like. So coming down here, what is cool about what you do? I'll tell you what, just think about the job of a real estate agent for a second. Traveling around the city, going into different homes, going into different parts of the city, probably places that you've never been before. And most people go to the same job every single day, same desk, the same place to eat. Just the average day of what we do is far beyond what most people do. So even just taking pictures, taking snaps, taking stories about the different parts of town and different places that you eat is something that can get people interested in what you're doing. This one right here. Biggest mistakes clients do. So I want to cover that one for a second, because these videos are great because I love residual money and I love residual content, right? Residual content are ones that I can continue to use even after they've been posted. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Tara. So when you're working with the buyer, what are some of the biggest mistakes buyers do in the process of getting a home?
Buy something before they're going to get fully financed.
Yes. And I see other people laughing too. And shooting up. I'll tell you what, top 3 videos, like top 3 things not to do before buying a home. Top 3, top 5, top 10. Doing videos like that, it has great SEO for YouTube. But on top of that too, every time you're working with a buyer, you can now send them a customized video. Hey, I shot this video. I want to go ahead and send it over to you. Top 3 things not to do when buying a home. Look, if it even eliminates one person from doing that and you get a closing, is it worth the video?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And every time you work with a new buyer, you're able to send it to them. Another video that I highly recommend, or like a series, top 3 neighborhoods to live in Orlando, Florida. And you want to choose places that have a good turnover rate too, right? And a price point that you want. But top 3 places to live in a city, it's a great SEO again. But then think about this, when you're working with buyers and they want to get into a neighborhood, like, hey, I actually just shot a video on that neighborhood. Go ahead and check it out. Oh, you're moving to this area? Here are the top 3 places that I recommend. So those videos, number one, they do great on social media, but you can continue to use them as you continue to grow. And now you just made yourself different from every other realtor. Great question, Tara. Hope that helped. Why don't you go ahead and pick on somebody else here?
All right. I'm going with camera people only. So Ronnie White.
Ronnie.
I knew she was going to pick me. I knew it. How's it going, guys? I'm brand new to EXP. I am, I think it's been a week now. So loving everything that I'm getting. I just wanted to say that first. I do videos. I think that I maybe could use some kind of insight as to how often, how long, because what I kind of do is, and doing videos. I actually said 2022, I'm going to start doing videos, Facebook posting, because I never did it previously. So, and I've actually gotten a lot of traction. I did a video when the feds increased the interest rates in March. Additional video when I came privy to some information from a loan officer about down payment assistance program. So I traction. I have a couple clients potential that are going through the process of being pre-approved.
Yeah.
However, I'm like everyone else. I want to connect, but then I also hesitate. I got to have a haircut before I do a video. You know, it's going to be
right.
If I'm in my car, how do I set my phone up? You know, all of that. But which is, I mean, honestly, I can get past that. But what I would like some insight on is how long what's like the honey hole for the, you know, for the video, and how often, meaning once a week, twice a week, or what have what's kind of.
So my answer is not going to be the typical one, because what most gurus and these people do is they want to sell you a course and they make it so specific on the times, the amount of time, the how long it has to be. And guess what? The algorithm just changed. So you got to buy the new course to figure out what to do next, right? So are there some better times? Maybe. But here's what I know. The way the algorithms work on any platform is like this. If your video or your content keeps them on the platform, they'll keep you at the top. They don't care what it is. They don't care if it's a picture. They don't care if it's a post, a video. Do some perform better? Yes. But the one that gets the most interaction is the one that's going to stay at the top. Why? Because they get paid by ads. So if my content keeps them on the platform, they can run more ads. So as far as the length of the video, a lot of times we spend so much time worrying about the length, where if I post at 6 a.m., noon, 8 p.m., midnight, I'm going to beat somebody who just posted once. Now, I'm not saying you got to post 4 times a day. Here are the questions that most people ask: how long or how many? When the answer is, well, let's see, how long and how many times a week? And the real answer is there's never enough. There's no bad time to post. There's no bad length. For us, we did a virtual mastermind, and we had it be 9 hours long. Everybody was telling us, oh, you shouldn't be able to do that. Oh, you should make it 30 minutes. You should make it an hour. And it was right when COVID hit. You're not going to have anybody's attention. And we had 10,000 agents tune in, and the average watch time was 6.5 hours out of all those agents. Why? Because the content was good. Has anybody here seen the movie Endgame? Endgame Marvels? Oh, a couple people here. So it was like a 2.5, 3 hour movie. Man, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. And I didn't see anybody get up and leave the theater because it was too long of a movie. So a lot of times when we're trying to really shorten our videos, what it does is it takes time, energy, and effort to try and come up with the perfect length, and then edit a video and then reshoot it because I thought it was too long. When in reality, if you would have just shot 3 videos and posted all of them, you would have had a better chance of just them posting that one perfect video. So for me, I never think about how long the video is. If I have an idea, I go ahead and shoot it. I continue to shoot more and more videos, because then it gets into the fun space when you shoot so many videos, which Jeff's experiencing now too, like I am, because then you can start repurposing them, taking the videos that you shot and making 1-minute clips, 30-second clips, and having somebody go in there and do it for you. Don't recommend you going and do it yourself. But when you post so many, you will get more business. When you get more business, you can invest back into it. So my simple answer is there's never enough video, and I don't worry about how long or what time I'm posting. If I have an idea, I'm shooting a video, I'm posting it. That's the quickest way. Because if not, then I'm waiting 2 days to make the right post. And if I missed 8 a.m. and it was 8:05, this happened to me so many times. It'd be like 8:06. I'm like, dang it, they all told me to post at 8 a.m. I'll post it tomorrow. And the next day I got to 8:10. I'm like, dang it, missed it again. I'll post tomorrow. When in reality, I should have posted at 8:06, 8:10, and 8 a.m. the next day. So for me, all I know is the algorithm. If I keep entertaining people, they'll keep me at the top. Does that help answer your question a little bit?
It does.
Yep. Awesome, Ronnie. All right, appreciate the question. Why don't you go ahead and pick on somebody else here, Ronnie?
I'm going to pick on Kim Herrera.
Well, I was going to suggest that there's a question in the chat from Julia.
Okay.
She wants to know where the best place to post is.
Whichever one you do consistently. You know, there really isn't a better one. I know people are like, swear by TikTok. I think it's pretty good. Swear by Instagram. We have success there. Swear by YouTube. We have success there. All I know is the one that you post consistently on is the one that's going to grow, right? Different platforms have all the algorithms are the same. They might have to heart now. You might have to share now. You might have to do these things. But if your content entertains them, they can run ads and they'll keep you at the top. So for me, a great tool, highly recommend everybody here gets it. StreamYard. StreamYard.com allows you to stream to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at the same time. It also allows you to have graphics on the screen. So now you don't have to pay a graphic editor or video editor every time. And like Jeff just did too, then you could download it as an audio and upload it as a podcast. So now in a matter of 20 minutes, you could have a video on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and a podcast on 4 to 5 major platforms. I'll go ahead and type it in the chat here for you guys.
Yeah, StreamYard.com. It's awesome, guys. And when he talks about doing interviews, like that is an easy way to come up with content. Just like Terry, you could pick just one of the agents on your team. You could pick another agent in town. It doesn't even have to be with EXP. Just, it could be anything, but just talking about the market. You could interview your lender. I've done that. I've made a note here as we were talking, because I'm like, I haven't done that for a while. I need to do that, go to the lender with all that stuff going on with the rates right now. Just take 10 minutes and go live with him on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube through StreamYard and interview my lender. And just, let's talk about the current market. What's going on? What are you seeing? Where do you see this going? How's it been for your business? Are you seeing a pullback on things? Just how many buyers haven't been able to qualify now? Just talking about the market and just put that out there. Whatever. And then I could take that video if I wanted to. And now again, here's like leads coming in, to websites, buyer leads, that kind of stuff. I could start sending them some of these videos that I've got. You're positioning yourself as the expert.
Right.
That's who they see you are. Nobody else is doing that. They're going to 5 different realtors websites, and you become the one that all of a sudden you start sending them a video, top 3 mistakes not to make as a buyer. Terry, you do that video one time, and a year later, you're still sending that video out to new leads that are coming in. It just puts you in another position to where they're going to work with you over the other realtors that they're reaching out to. You're setting yourself apart. Am I right on that, Nick? I mean, that's
you're absolutely right, Jeff. And that's like something easy to do. Every 2 weeks, interview your lender and give people a market update. Send out to past clients, current clients, leads, and nurtures. Sure. Like you said, Jeff, most agents probably don't even send anything. Some agents might send an article. And guess what? Most people aren't going to read it. They probably won't understand it. And guess who's the authority in the article? The person who wrote it. Yeah. Very few, very, very few might send a video about the market, about what's going on in it. Nobody's sending a video, a market update that's personally done by them every 2 weeks. Because guess who becomes the expert in their mind? The person giving them the information, the person that they see. When they have a question, who are they going to reach out to? The agent who sent them an article that they didn't read, or the one they've been getting information on the market? There are 2 key lines that I always say in those videos too, which I believe help a lot. The 2 things I always say are, if you're a buyer, this is what the market means to you. If you're a seller, this is what the market means to you. I like to bring up this reference from Friends. I'm sure some people here saw Friends before, but there's this one episode where this guy comes over to Joey's to try and sell him almanacs. He's like, Joey, have you ever been in a room and everybody's talking about something and you have no idea what it's about? You just have to smile and nod. And they just go to all these flashbacks of him smiling and nodding in all these rooms. That's what happens when we talk about real estate sometimes. We start talking about the market absorption rate. I mean, that's great. Those are great numbers to know. But if you're going to break it down in a way to say, hey, guys, if you're looking to buy right now, this is what it means to you. The person that becomes the person that people understand are the ones they're going to go to with questions. But yeah, that's a great point, Jeff. Just those two videos a month. We'll be able to go out to past clients, current clients, leads, and nurtures, be able to interview a mortgage lender and just talk about the market, talk about the rates and what's going on in it.
You could interview a home inspector. Yeah. First-time buyers have no idea the process, and just do a 20-minute interview with a home inspector. Tell, and the importance of getting a home inspection, and just, go off of that. There's so many things you could do like that even. And just, again, that video will last you for, 5 years. You're still using that video.
Right.
That's
I'll
the
tell you
power
what-
of doing it, where you get the life out of that thing. It's good, you know.
So Julie had another question in there too. I saw in the chat, like a mix of personal, real estate, or what should it be? First of all, everyone should only have one page, and it's your your personal page is where you should be posting. Unless you're running ads, the business page is the paid version of the app. If you run ads, you got to do it through your business. If you're not running an ad, post on your personal. The way I like to look at it is everybody's a client. Some just aren't paying me yet. Some just aren't using me yet. Everybody out there is a potential client or knows somebody who could be a potential client. And it is a good, healthy mix. Here's how I look at my brand. My name is at the top. Everything is always personally branded under my name. Why? Because when people Google it, do I'm Googling your favorite realtor, who's going to pop up, right? Or like whatever tagline that you have, it might be great, but when they Google it, are they going to find you and you only? When they Google my name and real estate agent, they find me every single time. So I always brand under my name, but then I have pillars of the brand, which is real estate, which is shooting video, which is my personal life, which is my family. And I constantly mix it up because real estate is what we do. It's not who we are. And people buy us for who we are. Sometimes people ask me, it's like, well, what if somebody doesn't like my hobbies? What if somebody doesn't like what I do? What if somebody was an artist? Like, yeah, what if somebody just doesn't like my art? I'm like, then chances are you won't get along with them that well anyways, right? Has anyone here ever had to fire a client? Yeah, chances are it was a good feeling. It freed up your time, energy, and effort for the right client to come along. If you post more things about what you like, you're going to become a little polarizing. But guess what? People are going to love you and some people aren't. And the people who aren't are probably people you didn't want to work with anyways, right? So I think that was a great question, Julia. Let's see. Who was the last one to ask a question, though? I think it was Tara. So
Well,
Tara,
I called on Ronnie White, but he left, so I can call on someone else.
we'll resort back to you, Tara. What popcorn somebody else here?
Let's go with Sandra.
Sandra.
Hi. I really don't use Facebook personally. So should I use my business and should I boost the post on my business page to draw more attention to it?
So you don't use it currently. Do you not use it at all, or do you not
At
use
all.
it for business?
I use it for business, but not for personal reasons.
Okay. So are you against posting on your personal page, or you just that's not
I'm just a private person and I just don't like posting
okay.
on it.
No, that's perfectly fine. I mean, we all have our preferences to what it is.
I do post on my business every day and I just don't know. I mean, I've done videos and I've boosted the post to get attraction to it. And I don't know if that's the right way to do it.
Well, I get you have your reasons. The right way to do it, this is what I recommend. This is the only way I boost, is I test everything out on my personal page, and whatever gets the most views and likes is the one my audience likes. And then I boost that, because I never want to test with money on an audience. I want to be able to test it for free and have my audience decide, here's the video I like, and then I go and boost that one.
Okay.
Right. So that's the best way that I found to boost that. Like if you want to do boosting, is you test it first, and whichever one people like, start commenting. Because I can't tell you some videos that I thought would blow up. They didn't do anything. Some videos I almost didn't post and they blew up. So, sometimes you just got to let your audience decide what they like and be able to boost it from there.
All right.
All right, Sandra, go ahead and call on somebody else here.
Let's go with Nicole.
Nicole. Nicole, you with us? You're muted. Oh,
Yeah.
and you had a camera the whole time? What? All right, go ahead. What questions do you have?
Sorry, I'm dog sitting right now. So right now, I'm kind of not doing video right now. I mean, I'm active on my Facebook, but right now at the moment, I'm just not doing video right now. I'm not against it or anything, but eventually, I would like, I did videos here I think a while back. And at first it was kind of scary because I felt like I always watch myself all the time. But then I just thought it was just ridiculous, like watching myself every time. So I got over that hump, but eventually I wanted to get back into doing videos. But when I first did it, I didn't do Facebook Live. I just I would just post videos on my Facebook story. So that's how I got into it. So, but yeah, I thought I definitely need to get back into that. And I also did that through Facebook. I also did that when I messaged people on Facebook Messenger. I think you can do that as well. So if you're scared to do it on the Facebook story or Facebook Live, it's always good to do it on someone personally on Facebook Messenger too, because that helped me a lot as well.
Yeah, I know that is definitely a good way. And I would recommend saying their name in it. If you're going to shoot it to them personally, always say their name in it. But let me ask you this. What's holding you back from getting started today and shooting a video today and posting on your timeline?
My time is spent right now in post. I'm licensed here in California, but I'm also I also moved out of I moved out of California. I'm studying for my real estate license in Nevada. I'm living in Las Vegas right now, so I'm a lot of my time is kind of devoted to that. I know I'm
Hey, I mean, you can tell yourself that, but there's always time to shoot a video. It takes about 2 minutes, maybe even 30 seconds to go live and shoot a video, right?
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to being consistent.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just being.
Yeah, I do fall flat on that.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm with you. That's something where most people struggle with is just the consistency of it. You know, and for me, sometimes it's even just having a 2-minute time block in if I have it in my calendar, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Just having it time blocked in my day, like once or twice a week, 3 times a week, little time blocks in the calendar. I have my cameraman who lives with us full time now too. So we have a time block days. We're going to just knock out massive amounts of content. When I didn't have that, I would have time blocks in my day. So no matter what, I have non-negotiables with the calendar. So no, I get it. We're all busy. Everybody on this call is busy, right? We're in real estate. That's the industry. So we're really busy. And it's making sure that we're doing things that are going to continue to produce business for us and income producing activities. Video is an income producing activity if you do it consistently. No, I'm with you though. The consistency is a big one, Nicole. Why don't you go ahead and pick on somebody else here?
Okay, let's see. Mike Parsley. Are you there?
Hello. How you doing?
What's going on?
Hey, Mike.
Excuse my dog in the background there. Well, I have not used video, and I guess number one, every other one of my friends on Facebook or whatever, either realtors or some type of entrepreneur. So it just seems so oversaturated for one thing. And the other, I have a problem when I'm in front of a client or a customer or somebody, I can interact with them. They have facial expressions. There's something real there for me to talk to and be able to feel from whatever. But you got this piece of plastic in front of you. I don't know what to do. It's just, who am I talking to? What am I supposed to say? What am I, I like the idea of doing interviews, and I've talked with my team members about doing that before. But just random video, it's like, I don't know what to do. I come up with an idea and then I'm like, oh, it's already been done. Yeah. So I just don't do it.
Well, no, I'm definitely with you there. And there's no such thing as an original idea. Really, with video, there's a good chance it was ripped off from something else. It's similar to something else. I remember I was going through my mentor's videos. It was back in I had a whole series when I first started doing videos. It was called Win the Day, right? And it was hashtag Win the Day, and I was running with it. And I was going through my one of my mentor's videos, and it was 2004. He had hashtag Win the Day on the board in the same color and the same font. Like, no shit. I sent it over to him. I guess you did it first. He's like, dude, there's no such thing as an original idea. Right. And that's when it hit me, because there really isn't. Chances are the best type of video to do is one that someone was already successful with. Why? Because it was already successful. There's nothing saying you don't get paid more to figure out the problems by yourself. You don't get paid more to come up with your own video ideas. Mm-hmm. If I get more views, more interaction with somebody else's video that I ripped off, it's not even ripping off. It's just copying success habits, right? So if it's not even if it's an agent in your area, look, it's videos, it's content. It's been done probably 50 times before them too. If somebody says, I shot that first, I would just say, check your ego, dog. Probably shot 50, 100 times before you, right? As far as the good ideas, I'll tell you what, People run from problems. They walk towards solutions. So when we come on here and tell people all these ways that we can help them, and they're like, all right, great, that's there when I need it. But when you can nail the problems that people face, that's when they're like, crap, that is what I'm looking at right now. Right? When you're saying, hey, when you're 6 months out from looking at a house, you actually should have started looking 2 months ago. When you're 4 months out, you actually should have started it at this point. Here's what will happen when it gets closer and closer. More time strain. You're now get more stressful. You probably already are feeling stressed out about this entire process. And the longer you wait, the more stressed out you'll be. And chances are that dream home that you really want is not going to be there. Here's what we're going to do for you. Go ahead and schedule a call and reach out to me. We'll get you more information. Because chances are, if there's someone out there right now who's like 3 months out and think that they have time, they feel the stress, the time's coming back on them, and now you're telling them they're not going to get their dream home. Crap, I got to reach out to this guy. Right? So to me, if you could just nail people's problems, or just even the problems that you face as a real estate agent every day, people love knowing that other people have problems too. Why do you think the news is all filled with it, right? They do their research. They know what people want. But if you nail the problems of consumers, that's when somebody says a video was just speaking to me. Wow, they were speaking right to me. Chances are they were telling you exactly the problems and things you were going through in your life. We always say 85% problem, 15% solution. If I give you all the solution, you're like, great, I got all the information. I'm good to go. I don't need to reach out to him. He just gave me what I needed. Nail the problem and you'll get people reaching out to you. Help that out, Mike. Why don't you go ahead and pick on somebody else here, Mike?
See what we got. How about Sean
How
Sturrock?
about Sean?
Did I mispronounce your name? If I did, I'm sorry.
You're close, brother. Sturrock. It's all good.
Sturrock. Okay, rock and roll, brother.
Very good. Yeah, Nick, I'm just getting started with you and your company, so I'm excited about it. Done just a couple videos. I'm going to start my interviews probably the week after next. I don't want to go into excuses. Just got a ton of stuff I'm knocking out over the next week and a half. But no, so I'm here as a sponge, man. I'm ready to do it. I got to be honest, a little nervous. Not so much of the interviews, of doing my own videos. Yeah. About it, and I kind of get the idea. Find some out there that other people have done. Watch it 5, 6 times, get it figured out, and kind of just reshoot it yourself. So I'm here just going through the learning phase, man. I've been watching you from afar here the last couple months. Impressed. I see what Jeff's doing. Impressive, and I know it's something I've got to do, or I'm gonna get left in the dust. So here, just learning, man. About ready to start kicking it in.
Man, you bring up a good point, and I appreciate you saying that too. But you bring up a good point. Usually when I speak, I have this meme on the slideshow, right? And this meme, it's what was it? Joaquin Phoenix, is that how I say his name? Joaquin Phoenix, the dude who played the Joker in the Joker movie.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there in his Nike sweats with his full makeup on, and he's looking in the mirror. And it says, me going to work at 9 to 5 while there's an 8-year-old YouTuber making $26 million a year. So it's basically you looking like a clown when this kid opens up toys on YouTube and he plays with them and he gives it a review. That kid's making $26 million a year while his family is, right? Because he started doing video on YouTube. But here's how it applies to real estate. The next 5 years, if you're not on video, you're going to be bagging groceries and you're going to be looking at less experienced agents, not as skilled, making a lot more money. You're gonna be like, damn it, I should have listened to Nick and just started shooting video, right? I'm sure you probably see it now. There are agents not that skilled, not that great, but they're on video and they're probably getting some listings. You're like, what the hell is happening here? Because I think Inman came out with a stat, over 80% of people are going to choose a real estate agent based on video. The reason being is during COVID and all that stuff that was happening, everybody stayed inside. So we were forced to make buying decisions online. We were forced to trust online. We didn't have an option. That carried over into real estate. And now my buying decision is going off. I'm online. That's what's carrying over, guys. As far as the interviews go, I highly recommend you schedule 2 to 3 months out. Just literally get 1 to 2 people a week and just get them in the calendar. Take 20 minutes to reach out to 10 or 15 different people and just say like, hey, I'd like to interview. I have this time or this time. Which one works best for you? Get the interview scheduled and get them in the calendar because it's very easy to fall out of that habit and not be consistent. But I'll tell you what, with interviews, I show up to interviews. Why? Because I took somebody else's time. I'm going to make sure I respect it. Schedule them out in advance. You're going to thank yourself later. You're going to get into good habits. And once you get going, it becomes really easy. I look forward to all the interviews, but I know getting started is the hard part, right? I like to say it's like going to the gym with somebody. I might not want to go to the gym, but I know my brother doesn't want to go either. And he's up right now moving around. So I'm not going to let him down. Great
Good.
question there, Sean. Why don't you go ahead and call on somebody else here?
Real quick, Sandra, do you have a question, Sandra?
I do have a question. With the interviews, are you doing it via Zoom or are you going in person to do the interviews?
Yeah, great question. So I utilize StreamYard. StreamYard allows me to have like 2 people on the screen, no matter where they're at, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. It's very similar to the way Zoom is set up too. It's extremely user-friendly, which is why I like it. But I recommend using StreamYard because then you can stream to multiple different people, multiple different platforms.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. Guys, this is your time. I'm here to provide value to you guys. So if you guys have a question, now is the time to ask.
Can you share, Nick, real quick, just the power of like, even like a lead comes in and sending them a personal video?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, that personal video. So when I was running a call center, once upon a time, I was calling 15 hours a day. And then I started managing about 70 different clients running this call center. So I got to play with leads a lot in the back end. And I'll tell you what, it was never the type of lead. It was never how long we were calling. It was never the area, the caller, or the agent. It was always the brand. And if they knew them before they walked in the door. If I was calling and saying, hey, I'm calling on behalf of Nick. Oh, Nick, what's going on? Yeah, I know him. Or, hey, I'm calling on behalf of Nick. Who the heck's Nick? I could read them their social security number and they'd still say that wasn't me. I didn't fill that out. Right. But what happens is the moment you hang up the phone, sending out a video text, a personal video text, there are 2 things you do in this video text. Always say their first name. Always, always, always say their first name. If you don't say their first name, they're going to think it's a sales gimmick and you're actually going to lose rapport. You're like, oh, this salesman just sends this to everybody. And they're like, screw them. All right, used car salesman. But you say their first name and it's like, oh crap, that was just to me. And guess what? I'll tell you what, the people who have hung up on me, that have cussed me out. And look, if you're on the phone for 15 hours a day, it's going to happen. When I sent them that personal video message, guess what happened a week later? They cussed everybody out. They didn't want to talk to anybody. But a week later, they still needed a real estate agent. And they went through their phone. They didn't recognize any number, but they saw that video and they called me back. I got a lot of callbacks by doing that. Always, 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 always send a video message every time you hang up the phone with somebody that you haven't met yet in person. It will change your relationship instantly. Because chances are, guess what? We're not the only real estate agent that they're talking to. There's somebody else. There's like 4 other people, right? Then they forgot what conversations they had, who they were talking to, but one person sent a video message and now they have a face to the name. They feel like they know you already. Now you're coming over and they're peeking through the window. The person who didn't send a video message is like, is that Jeff? I don't know. It doesn't look like his picture. That was from 20 years ago, right? But now Jeff sent a video. Sorry, Jeff, I'm not calling you out. Just
I don't look like I did 20 years ago. So.
Right, you're right. But now Jeff sent a video. They're looking out the window. They're like, oh, Jeff, what's going on? You're going to start noticing people are opening their doors. They're waiting for you. It almost creates the closest thing to a referral without being one because they feel like they already know you. That video message is super, super powerful. And I'll tell you what, leads you haven't been able to get in contact with. I had thousands of old leads, 3-5 years old that just never picked up. So I just started messing around with them, right? Like in a good way. So I'd send them a video message and I wasn't even the agent. I was just ISA and I was the guy managing. I'm like, hey, what's going on, Jeff? You know, we just sold a home nearby, like down the street from you guys. You know what? It made me think of you. How's your family going? We started getting reach outs all the time. Where are you guys at in the process? I'd always say, hey, Jeff, we just sold a home right down the street from you. And it made me think of you. Where are you guys at in the process? When you say a personal video message and it made me think of you, you're like, oh shit, I feel like I have to respond. Because everybody likes to assume that they're a good person, right? So if somebody takes the time to send a video message personally to me, you're going to get a response and reignite conversations. It's a great way, especially if you don't have time. Because I know like when we're going on these buyer appointments, when a buyer's 10 minutes late, go to your phone and send out 5 video messages. They're 10 to 15 seconds. As long as you don't watch them, you can knock these out fast, right? Video messages are key. The 2 things you always do is always say their first name and never watch it before you send it. Watch before you send it. You're going to shoot that video message 10 to 15 times. Shoot.
And
Because they're quick and they're easy. And I'll tell you what, and I'm just seeing the payoff on that. Like that's
How do you
just been
do
a
that?
huge thing for me to do. Mike, go ahead.
Nick, how do you do that? And also, do you use any editing software with videos that's user friendly?
I don't edit my videos really. When it comes down to chopping them up and putting them in 1-minute clips, that's different. I go live all the time. No filters, no nothing. Or like edits on the videos. I don't personally believe in doing high edited videos. Because it doesn't allow you to act with speed. Speed beats anything else. Speed wins. Speed to lead.
Right. I mean, I've got shared leads, so I've got to get to it as soon as possible.
Right. So do you have an iPhone?
Yes.
Oh man, my man. All right. So here's what you're gonna do, right?
Apple everything.
Apple everything. Let's go. Team Blue. All right. So here's what you're gonna do. Go to the text. Go to the text, right? Let me know when you have that open.
Yeah.
All right. Just click on somebody. I'm not gonna have you send it, but just click on somebody's text thread.
Yeah.
You see in the bottom left a camera.
Got it. Video.
Click that and then video. And then
Never done
literally
it before.
after you're done, you just click send and you're good to go.
Nice.
Yep. It's that simple. Android, yours is somewhere else. It's different on every single one. Can't help you there, guys.
Thanks,
No,
Nick.
it really is different. Like as long as you guys just shoot a video and send it, you're good to go. Don't overcomplicate this. Don't go buy a software that says, hey, you can send a video message through our software. I can do it through my damn phone, right? You don't need to go out and buy anything for this. You don't need to buy headphones. You don't need to buy speakers, lighting. It's actually better if you're not sitting in your studio, if you're getting out of the car. Because they're like, man, Tara was so busy. They still sent me a video message. But I'll tell you what, you're sitting in a studio. Imagine if I shot a video like this with my nice camera up here, my microphone. I'm like, hey, Jeff, I was just thinking about you, man. You're like, you fucking weren't. You're sitting in your studio, lights on, ready to go. Like, you weren't just thinking about me. You're not doing this out of your heart. You're doing this for a reason. But if I'm just getting out of the gym, I'm like, man, Jeff, I just wanted to follow up with you, man. I was just thinking about you. I just want to see how you're doing it. If there's anything I could do to help. Talk to you later. You're like, damn, he was busy and he literally just thought of me on the spot. If you're out, you're walking, you're getting out of the car, you're getting into the car, you're walking into a building, walking into your house, and you shoot it on the walk, even a little shaky, they're gonna be like, dang, they really just wanted to talk to me. You create a more of a relationship.
And again, I think with that, you're doing something that no other realtors doing this stuff. You just make yourself stand out because they're not just talking to you. They haven't decided yet who they're going to work with.
Right.
They might be several months away, but you're doing that again, just creating that rapport. And there's something about that video and that connection. It's different than an email. It's different than just a cold text. They're getting texts from everybody. They're getting emails from everybody. They're on 5 different websites looking at homes. Whatever. But all of a sudden you start doing that and you connect with them. Right. They're working with Mike. I got to call Mike. Mike's the guy. You you just connect with them in that way, and you set yourself apart from everybody else out there. That's what I'm seeing with it. It's just gold, And
if you want to be really ballsy but have a great payoff, hit that FaceTime button, guys. I'll tell you what, they're gonna be like, wait, what? They're like, yo, what's going on? It throws people off. I'll tell you what, you want to get some answers, FaceTime some people. You'll have instant rapport. They see you right away. No other agent is going to be doing that. I'll tell you what, when someone FaceTimes me, I'm like, oh, okay, we're friends, right? Like when somebody FaceTimes me, it's like, oh, you're on a different level. You have an instant relationship build. They're sitting like, whoa, what's going on? Do I know you? Yeah, no, I'm just a real estate agent. You sign up for our leads. I just want to call and see how's it going on. But here's the thing. When people don't see you on the phone, they'll hang up. When they see you, they're like, oh, I can't do it to them, right? Like, all right, what do you got for me? Right? Because they see your face. They're like, oh, man, let's see. Kim looks like such a nice woman. Now, I can't just hang up on Kim. I can't say mean things to Kim, right? When they're on the phone, they just imagine you in the worst way possible. Some old dude sitting in a corner eating Cheetos on his phone that's doing dials all day. Like, oh, man, this guy needs to get a life. Oh, I'm just going to hang up on him because he deserves it. No, that's not going to happen. You won't hang up on me if you see my face. Most people won't, actually. I'll tell you, that's a great way to catch people off guard. You'll get real answers, too. Because when we're on the phone, we have those RDRs. Those things that we just say, hey, how's it going? Good. How are you? Make it fast. When you're on the phone, it's like, oh, yeah, man, I'm doing good. I'm just, hanging out at the house because I don't know what to say. You shouldn't be FaceTiming me, so I'm going to give you the real answer. So it's a great way to catch people off guard and get some great conversations too. Who here's going to FaceTime a client this week? Come on now. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Sean was the last one. Sean, you want to pick somebody?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's pick on Mr. Tim.
Mr. Tim.
Come on live, Mr. Tim.
I felt that coming, brother.
Come on down.
I know you did. I saw you staring at me.
In fact, I'm shocked our daughter didn't do it.
Oh, that's
Tim
great.
started to do more videos. You posted that last week about, with clients and stuff, and be able to send them a video. It's good stuff.
I've started doing them. I'm not doing as many as I need to. Back to the original questions. I'd like some topics to follow. I'm not afraid to do them. I just need to think of what to do. I've started doing, I do a lot of attraction with eXp Realty. So 40 to 50% of the people will blow off an initial meeting, but I've started doing a video call just saying, hey man, I'm so looking forward to seeing you this afternoon at 3. Hope your day's going great. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
And I don't read it. I mean, I don't watch it. I just send it. It's all good. And no shows are almost non-existent. Worst case, they're responding back saying, yeah, I've been meaning to call you. I need to reschedule to tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's huge. That definitely works, guys. In your real estate business, I'm excited to try that in the real estate side too. And I love the FaceTime idea.
Yeah,
but
man.
The only other question I had is, all right, I've got a video now. What I do with it? When you're talking to real estate agents, do I post it to my story? Do I post it on my page? And I know that there's probably some stupid, easy answers to that, but I haven't done a whole lot of it to now.
The easiest answer is just post it everywhere. I post things on my stories, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, like anywhere that I could post a video, I'm posting it, right? Because here's the thing, you never know where your next buyer is. You never know where your next seller is, right? I used to think I don't listen to podcasts. I know that's freaking crazy because I do a lot of podcasting now. But at the time, I wasn't doing podcasting because I'm like, oh, if I don't listen to them, nobody does. Who here listens to podcasts? Yeah, a lot of people do. So, just because I'm not on there doesn't mean my next buyer or seller isn't, right? Post it, share it, put it everywhere you can.
Is there a tool that'll do that for you other than StreamYard that you talked about? Because that sounded like that's only 3 places.
Facebook Manager. Facebook Manager has like a back end that you could post it through. HubSpot allows you to do that as well. I forgot about
Tim. If you if you do StreamYard, because it automatically when you're done, it's you do a live video, and it goes to Facebook. You can pick it. You don't have to do all 3. I do all 3. So, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. It goes live. Once I do that, it's on my timeline. But now it's actually in my YouTube channel. It's on there. I could take that YouTube link now and I can post it. I take that and I post it over, I can post it on all these other platforms. That link I can share that link. I can use that now as many times as I want. I've got a broker back in Indianapolis. I was sharing this with Nick that I've been working with. He's looking to make the move to EXP. I sent him an interview. Just yesterday, I sent him an interview that I did with Mitch Reebok, like 2 months ago. I sent him that yesterday. He replied back last night. I mean, he watched it, loved it, all fired up. But again, that's something I did 2 months ago. That's the beauty of the videos. It's like the lifespan of these things. I could just be sending things out to different agents, different clients, all kinds of stuff you can use those videos for. But you'll have it in just, my YouTube channel is just archived there. And whatever. It's so, any of the videos you do, there's a place, you have a link there now that you can share with in all different kinds of ways, and like with real estate clients, as you're doing videos, again, like what he said before, like with Tara, pick some top 3 things top 3 mistakes buyers make when they're buying a home, top 5 things that sellers need to do to get more money for the sale of their home, top 3 this, top 5 that, all those kind of things. And you just do a quick video. And you could do that on your phone and upload that video into YouTube or whatever. And now take that link and you can share it on all different kinds of platforms and use it again and again and again. You get a potential seller lead that comes in, they want an evaluation on their house. send them the evaluation on your house, and then the next day maybe send them, hey, real quick, I did this video a couple of months ago, top 5 things to help you get more money for your house. Hope this is helpful. And just send that out. All of a sudden now you're adding this value, but there's this video that you did, So
I got a question,
Put
Nick.
that back up.
Oh, go ahead. Who do we got here?
All right, Nick, could you just throw that screen back up for me and TJ can ask this question.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'll start here.
Nick, I got a question about doing, I just lost the term, but like a series of videos.
Right.
I mean, I guess the one thing that came to mind is, like if it's once a week or a couple times a week where you're talking about the process that we go through from start to finish on, a real estate transaction, or especially like a listing, because I'm a listing specialist. So if I talk about the process about, our initial meeting, discuss about things that we maybe want to do to the house before we list it, talk about price, talk about the process of getting under contract and going through inspections and appraisals. Is it cool to do just like a series like that? And how would you put it together if so?
Great question. Yes, series are great. And here's what I would do. You're a listing specialist, so I'm sure you have a lot of stories that are behind it, right?
Sure.
What would work really well and get engagement if we give people all logic? Look, logic is great, but let's be honest. People come to social media because they're lazy and bored. Lazy and bored people don't want to learn. They want to hear stories. So think about a time why you have this in the process. Man, there was this one time I was working with this seller and they did da-da-da-da-da-da, and you cover the story and the problem and how it didn't help. And here's what we do now. Guys, you want to make sure that you work with an expert that's going to make sure that you avoid pitfalls. Or maybe I was working with the buyer in this house. It wasn't put together. It had pictures all over the wall. The family was everywhere. My buyer couldn't even imagine themselves in the home. That's why you work with an expert. We're not going to do that for you. If you want to work with an expert, go here. Tell a story. If you can identify a problem and think of a story, then you can just make it fun and just tell a story about what happened one day in real estate.
Right.
And then you tie it to your 15, like I said, 85% problem, 15% solution. You can tell a story, man, stories sell. So I love this series idea, and just think about that. Like, all right, so this is what I do now. Can I think of a time when somebody didn't do this and what it looked like? Like, oh my gosh. So there was this one time, and that keeps you on track, because when you're telling a story, it keeps you on track and you know exactly what you're talking about too.
I got it. I like it.
Does that make sense, TJ?
Yep. Thanks.
Awesome.
I went in a house one time and they kept a horse in the house. I'm not kidding. There's a story. There's a story for you, TJ. If you want a story, you can interview me. I'll do it.
Well, that was another thing I was just thinking of, is if you don't know a story, make one up.
I mean, I'm not making that up though.
And that's
like, what is that smell? Oh my God, they keep a horse in here. I'm not kidding you. It was like,
I think that you could though. I mean,
my first year in real estate, like, what the hell have I done? Oh my God, maybe I need a new career. Anyway. So guys, it's about 10 o'clock. Go ahead. Nick, you want to wrap things
up?
On that
topic too, you could even just say, hey, I read this story online and here's what happened with the seller, right? So you could do that. Here's what I would say too. As far as posting, this is the biggest mistake. Every agent in the freaking world does this, and they're doing it all wrong. So we all know that like people pay Zillow and like, oh yeah, Zillow makes their money that way, right? That's not the way they really make their money. Yeah, do we pay them in ads and do all these things? Absolutely. But get this, when you post just sold or just bought and a picture of the home, you are literally telling people, choose the home and pick the realtor out of a hat. Right? Because when you post the house is the most important thing. All people do is post homes all over their timeline. We're training people to say, this is the most important part of the ad deal. Instead, when you sell a home or help someone in a buy, stand outside the home and shoot a video and tell people what you had to do to help this family. If you do that, people will start choosing you. Home's important, don't get me wrong, but here's what I had to do to fight off 30 freaking offers, stay up late, do these things to make sure the family got in their home. If you want to get in a home in this market, you got to work with me. You keep posting pictures, they're going to go to the place that has pictures and realtors picking out of a hat. If nobody went there because they didn't know they knew that the agent was a person that was going to get them in a home, They would just go to the agents. But we train them to go to the lead source, which then we buy back the leads. So we got to retrain the industry. We got to retrain the consumers. Post about what you did, not about the home. Does that make sense to everybody?
That's good stuff right there.
Yep. And by the way,
because I just did
you know
that
what?
last weekend under contract in 2 days. I should stand out in front of that home and do a video about what we had to go, because it was, it's a pain in the neck right now, whether you're working with a seller or a buyer.
Absolutely.
Stand up there and
I
do
got
the video.
one more, and it's just too good not to give these guys, Jeff.
Yeah,
I
go
gotta
ahead,
give
go.
it to them, all right?
You're
the
good,
best
man.
closing gift. This doesn't have to do with content. This is the best closing gift that I've ever heard. All right, guys. So I've heard a lot of the good ones in the past, and I wanted to tell you about it. But this one in particular was freaking genius. So what they did is when the home closes, working with the buyer, the home closes, they bring the photographer back over, and they take a family picture in front of the house, and they put their logo in the corner. Because I'll tell you what, I don't know about you guys, but taking a family picture was freaking hard growing up. There's a good chance we never even got around to it from like 10 to when I was like 25, because we were all so busy moving around. But at that moment, everybody's in that area. You take a family picture, they're going to put that right on the mantle. Everybody that walks in the house is going to take a look at their family picture. Like, oh, that's such a nice picture. And guess whose logo they're going to see? Yours. And guess what happens? Every time that mom or dad or whatever looks at that picture, they're going to think of you. And they're going to look at it once, twice, 3 times a week. I don't know about you guys. My mom would probably look at that every day. Every day they come in, and they would think of that individual that took it. Don't overblow the logo, because they're going to remember you. Just put it tastefully enough in the corner. Every person that walks in the house is going to bring that picture up. Like, oh, actually, this real estate agent did this for me. No way. Dude, I seen it work, and I was like, holy crap, that's freaking genius. An agent didn't tell me that. I walked into somebody I knew's house, and I saw that whole thing happen. I'm like, oh my God, that's so good. Because they just started talking about this agent. I'm like, that is freaking genius. I don't know who this person is, but they better be a millionaire, because that's a freaking great idea.
That's good.
But I would do that for a closing gift. That's just
Good stuff. So guys, hopefully this was helpful. Yeah, good stuff. Good. Lots of ways to do it. I would tell you guys, get past the fear of doing it. Because again, I don't know, there's that quote, do the thing you fear the most, and the death of fear is certain. Everything is scary when you first started. That first listing appointment I went in on, oh my God, I was terrified, but then the next one's a little bit easier. By the 20th one, you're not even thinking about it, you do it in your sleep. And it's how it is with everything. It's like you get better and better the more you do it. Just get started, just get doing it, because it will pay off. And I think you're right, Nick. Like 5 years from now, I think people who aren't doing video, I'm telling you, you're gonna get left in the dust, because everything's going that direction. And it's just, once you get started, like I honestly just started doing it a couple of months ago. I'm still learning as I'm doing it. And Nick, I appreciate all your help with it. But man, it's getting better and better, easier and easier. I've got the podcast thing going now. I never thought I would do that. I'm getting traction there. It's just, there's so many ways that you can just use the same content over and over and over and create all these different platforms that will work for you for years. And there's power in that right now, and what that's doing and where that's going to pay off over time. So anyway, good stuff.
You bring up a great point. Just because we made it this far without using video, you will not make it past the next 5 years if you don't get on video.
Yeah.
You literally will not make it. I don't care about your track record, how many calls you make, what you're doing. You will not make it in the next 5 years if you don't get on video. Dude, 80% of people are going to choose their real estate agent based on video. You want to fight over the 20% who refuse to go on video? And you know how many of them they're going to be? Is that where you want to live? Fighting, scrounging over 20% of the business? And that number is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. I get it. Maybe you haven't shot video in the past and you're still doing pretty good in business. It ain't happening this time. The industry and the world changed forever after that, after what happened these last couple of years. Tomorrow might be going back to the normal, new normal, whatever. But when business makes advancements, it does not go back. And we made advancements, and that's video. We're not going back. Get on video, guys.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you very much. Just a reminder, we'll be back here next week, same time. Okay. Same new ID. We worked it this time. I did it right this time. Last week was crazy. So, anyway, guys, thank you very much. Nick, thank you again. Yeah. Appreciate it. I know you're super busy, man. Appreciate your time jumping on here.
Absolutely, man.
Great stuff. So, guys, have a great day. Have a great week. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Okay. Reach out anytime with any questions. All right.